going on, guys? So the crossover has officially ended. 4 nights, 4 shows, and it is over. Now, instead of giving you a breakdown or whatever, a review of the Legends of Tomorrow episode, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the crossover in general. There will be a few things that I touch on, but it's going to be very different from the way I review all the other shows. I just want to give my thoughts on the whole crossover as a whole. Duh. Overall, I enjoyed the crossover. Now, it wasn't technically a 4-night crossover. It was more of a 2.5-night crossover with half introduction and a whole just 2 minutes of hey Barry. So that was probably my biggest gripe, was the introduction of like having to introduce Supergirl and having to go through all of that and everybody meeting each other. That kind of bothered me. I wish this would have been a full 4-night crossover. But what can you do? We had to introduce Supergirl into this world. Her not being on the same universe kind of ruined a few things for us. So that kind of sucked. But, you know, they got around what they could. Anyways, other than that big gripe that I had with it, of it not really being a full 4-night crossover, I enjoyed it. I mean, every episode had its, it had its like ups and downs, but the action was solid in this. I mean, in the Arrow episode, where I think my favorite thing was the Supergirl Flash team up when they freaking super punched Cyberwoman. That was awesome. Some of the other fights, like when they fought the government officials in this episode, that was cool. That arrow to the ankle was badass. It should have been to the knee because, freaking Skyrim jokes. But, there was just a bunch of awesome moments in these crossovers that really got me excited. It felt like, Legends of Tomorrow does heavily on fighting sequences, and I felt like they took that and put it in all the other shows, because you don't see too much technical fighting in Flash. It's more special effects and stuff like that, but in the Flash episode, we got to see the elements from Legends and Arrow more in Flash episodes. That was pretty cool. So I like the way they integrated all of the different episodes and like key elements from episodes into other shows. Now, the one thing I will say that besides them not being a full 4-night crossover, that another thing I had a problem with is it didn't feel like a full, like, flowy, connected crossover. And what I mean by that is I wish that at the end of one episode, it would have ended dramatic, like the way, like, mid-season finales end. Like, you're like, oh, what? Now we gotta wait 4 weeks? I wish that would have happened every night. Like, something dramatic would have happened, and you just, like, have to watch the next episode. I didn't get that feeling when I watched this crossover, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to get progressively more dramatic. Even at the end of the Arrow episode leading into Legends of Tomorrow, they're like, oh, they're bringing this big laser beam bomb to destroy the world. Well, when the episode started, they're just in the hangar and they're like, oh man, so you guys escaped aliens? Crazy. No, I don't want that. I want it to be like dramatic. I want it to be dire and them just be like, what are we gonna do? And blah, blah, blah. And that's not what I got, Those officially were my 2 biggest gripes. It wasn't a full-blown 4-night crossover, and it didn't feel flowy. Like, I wish it would have just got progressively worse, and our heroes would have had to fight out of that. But, there was kind of, it didn't seem like a whole thing. It seemed like every episode had to be separate to kind of play to each feel of the other shows, you know what I mean? I will give CW props on the whole storyline, because the Dominator storyline of Invasion was pretty much from the comics. I mean, they even said it in this episode when Cisco and Steel went to go talk to the Dominator. He said why they were invading these people, because the metahumans could be an infection or a plague on their planet, so they need to eradicate them now. That is straight from the comic book, and that was pretty badass. So if we're going to get these 4-night crossovers and they're going to be like full-blown storylines that are like that, I am totally for. Other ones, bring in other superheroes like Superman. Give me a Wonder Woman. Like, don't tell me you can't do it. We already have a Superman on this TV universe and in the DCEU. Don't tell me you can't bring in a Wonder Woman. And who I want you to get to play Wonder Woman is the freaking girl who played Sith, is that her name? From Thor Ragnarok, or Thor the first one. Get her to be Wonder Woman in the DC TV universe. I know she's in Marvel Universe. Fuck that universe. Bring her to the DCE universe, because I think she should have been Wonder Woman if Gal Gadot wasn't going to get it. I love Gal. think she's a great Wonder Woman. But if Gal wasn't going to get it, I wanted that girl to be Wonder Woman. So bring her over to freaking that. Or Alexandria Daddario, or whatever her name is. But I want her to be the Zatanna. So don't do that. Just bring in Sith to the DC TV universe and be Wonder Woman for all of these crossovers. Scratch that, screw it all. You know what, just make a Wonder Woman TV show. Yeah, I said it. We're gonna have a freaking open slot on Thursday nights. Just make a Wonder Woman show. Nobody's gonna care. I'll watch it because that's awesome. I want to see more Wonder Woman. And y'all tried to do it, but y'all did a really bad job back in the day, and I forgot who the actress was gonna be. It was the chick from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was gonna be Wonder Woman. I'm totally going off track, but I just want to see better, awesome characters in future crossovers. One thing I mentioned in a video that you guys will be able to watch later today, not on my channel, on the DC fan channel, but I don't think I put the clip in there now that I'm thinking about it. I said when all the aliens from the Arrowverse, or the Arrow episode, we're gonna blow them up, like, and shoot all of the freaking things, and the Wave Riders save their lives, that would have been the perfect time to have the Green Lantern Corps show up and just, like, put a shield and block all these aliens. Am I right? They've hinted at Green Lantern so much, you might as well just freaking bring them into the universe. This is, okay, this is good. Before I start talking about stuff that happened in this episode, I know I'm rambling, but it's the 4-night crossover. I have a lot of things going on. This is what they should do for next year, and they're not going to do it because of events that happen in this episode. You need to take my idea, CW, and collide the universes. You need to collapse them into one, like Crisis on Infinite Earths or Convergence. I made a video about it. Go check it out. But what I'm talking about is collapse the universes so Kara doesn't have to use a stupid device to jump back and forth between universes, because I hated that idea. Collapse the universes and have the superheroes show up like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. If you don't want to do Batman because you want to save him for the movies, fine. Give me like Nightwing or Robin or Batwoman. Give me Batwoman. I'll take Batwoman. That would be freaking awesome. But give me other characters. And I don't know why you wouldn't bring in the Green Lantern Corps. If you don't want to use Jon Stewart or freaking Hal Jordan, don't use them. There's plenty of other ones. Use the ones from the new comics right now. Like, I just want to see this whole crazy event of universes collapsing. Perfect way to bring in the Green Lantern Corps, because they can be like, we're from outer space, we're here to protect this realm, blah, 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 or whatever, this unit, sector, whatever they call them, and just do cool shit like that. Like, bring in the big, heavy hitters for just the crossovers. If you're not going to give them their own shows, just show us that they exist, and that would be the perfect time to do it. Have Superman in the next crossover. Do not do another crossover without him. Why would you bring him in here just to, like, be on 2 episodes of Supergirl every season? Make him a part of the crossover, build this universe up, and yeah! Anyways, as I mentioned it, the stupid jump device that Cisco made pretty much just killed my idea of the collapsed universes, because now they just gave her an easy in and out of the universes, which I think is kind of dumb, because, like, now, okay, and this is stupid. One, a lot of you guys agree with me. Salty Cisco sucked this whole crossover. I hated Salty Cisco. But did you know that Cisco is like, they like upped his smart ability like 20-fold in this freaking series. Did you see, one, he was able to steal something off a ship that the Flash couldn't even steal. Then he managed to build like extra contraptions and devices out of nowhere, like super quick. Like they had no time to do things and he was able to do it. In this whole time, when he was part of this Legends episode, he was able to go into space, go into time, do all of this stuff, and still, out of nowhere, be able to build a device that would help him jump through things so quickly when he couldn't even figure out how to jump and get buried to Earth 38, like, so quick. And I'm just like, how did you do all of this so quickly, Cisco? Where did you find time? Anyways, the jump device is stupid because it kills my theory, but they had to make up something because we know that later in the season, there's going to be a musical episode, a musical crossover episode between Flash and Supergirl. Now, the jump device is, I'm hoping, is only for that purpose and it gets destroyed or something along those lines. I hope it's not the way that they're always going to communicate to each other and keep jumping back and forth between universes. What I'm hoping is maybe Music Meister or whatever, Music Master, I forget his name. You guys were telling me about it. I didn't know about him prior to the episode where I talked about the musical that was going to happen. You guys mentioned it. Apparently it's a character from The Brave and the Bold. Well, if he shows up on Supergirl, which it would have to be on Monday then Tuesday, if he shows up there, makes all this crazy stuff happen, and maybe Kara gets out of the spell from having to do the musical stuff, and she's like, Barry, I need you, come to the freaking whatever, then he can go over there and try to help it. Maybe Music Meister or Music Master, I don't know his name, I think it's Meister, steals the freaking thing and he goes to Barry's universe and tries to take over that universe, with his musical song and dance. That would be pretty awesome, and that would be a cool way to do the crossover, but hopefully that thing breaks at the end of the crossover, and there's no way to really have her jump back. But if she's going to be a part of the crossover again, of course she's going to have to get back somehow. So that's what they're going to do. I don't really know, but then again, Cisco can make things like that, so he'll probably have like 1,000,000 of them made for her the next time. So I don't know. I just rather that they all be on the same universe instead of them going back and forth, because it's just a little confusing. It would be easier if they can just be like, hey, can you come over here real quick? And they could just hang out instead of having to jump through portals every time. Some cool things I want to point out about this episode. 1, Stein. Everybody realized that Barry's not such a bad guy because they've been fucking up the past too. We saw that Stein met his daughter for the first time and he was going to go back and erase her, but then he found out how awesome she was, so now he doesn't want to do that. So he told Jackson, he was like, I just need you to be quiet about this and not let anybody know that she's an aberration, because I don't want her to be erased from time, because I want her to be a part of my life. And totally love that Jackson threw in Pound Town in there. He was like, man, so you changed the past and, you took your wife all the way to Pound Town? That was hilarious. Second thing, don't know if you guys caught the 2 opportunities of a that's what she said moment in there when Cisco was saying that this is too big when they caught the freaking orb, and then Jackson was trying to freaking turn it into water, which when he did turn it into water, he freaking just drowned the city pretty much. Nobody paid attention to that. But when he was like, I can't do it, Red, it's too big, or what is the nerd guy, whatever he calls freaking whatever his face is. I can't even talk right now because I'm so tired. Basically just some funny Pound Town, that's what she said moments happened in this. There was also a Superman reference to Brandon Roth when at the end of the episode, Felicity was saying that it was like, oh man, it's like looking into a mirror when she was comparing herself to Supergirl, and then Brandon Roth was like, oh, she kind of looks like my cousin, and they kind of look at each other like weirdly, and he walks off screen. It's because he was Superman, meaning Kara would have been his cousin anyway, because he's formerly Superman. Kara pretty much dissed Batman on her Earth because she said that her world can use an Oliver Queen, and we know Oliver Queen is basically Batman in this universe, but Batman exists. It's been proven. She mentioned it herself on freaking the episode of Supergirl not too long ago, that her cousin has worked with a guy with fancy gadgets and some demons, meaning, who has more demons than Batman? Hell, that's it. Anyways, Kara should just work with Batman because we could totally get Batman. My theory is that the Trinity exists on Kara's universe and everybody else exists on the Arrowverse. But I just want to see a Trinity show, or I want to see the Trinity show up to help Kara. That would be amazing. Last thing I want to say is, can we please stop the open field superhero battles? I am so tired of them already. Everybody's just fighting in airports or fighting in hangar bays or doing whatever. I'm tired of it, and I know why they do it. I get it. It's just easier and cheaper to film. There's so many people that you gotta go ahead and make things happen, and it's just easier to have fights in airports like Civil War, or fights on top of a rooftop like this one, because you can have so much action going on. It's more cost effective. I hate it. This is the reason why I'm so into the DCEU movies, and I know a lot of people are like, they're terrible, blah, blah, blah. But they're not plain when it comes to their freaking battles. Their battles are awesome. That Doomsday battle is by far the best superhero battle I've ever seen. And I know some of you are going to argue against it and say Civil War was the best. Civil War was plain as shit. Like, not a lot of stuff happened in it when you really think about it. What's his name grew really big. Spider-Man kicked some people. That was about it. Some explosions. Freaking, they were dropping buildings and flying in the sky and doing all this crazy shit. They went into space. Superman and Doomsday went into space when they fought. Like, that is my thing. Like, bring in epic battles. I get that TV has a lower budget, but I'm just saying, I'm not even talking just on TV. I'm just tired of open field battles when it comes, and you get what I'm saying. That's it, guys. I am hella exhausted, and I hope you guys appreciate and liked the videos I put out this week. It was insane. Putting out Gotham, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and there's actually a 6th video that you guys need to go check out on the DC fan channel. It should be uploaded by now. It might not be, but do keep looking at the DC fan channel. It is actually a reaction video to every episode that happened this. If you guys, I don't do reaction videos because I'm not a big fan of them, but they asked me to do reaction videos, so I went ahead and covered my favorite parts from the episodes, and you can see my face and how I'm like, you can see all of that shit over on the DC fan channel, so go check that out. Give them a subscribe. They're a cool little channel. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, guys, and I hope you like this stuff. I'm so tired, and I just want to take a sleep and go nap, because this week was insanely crazy, on top of just other things too. So yeah, hope you guys liked all the videos this week. Don't get used to it, because like it's still really hard to do it, but I wanted to make this happen for you guys, because I know a lot of you are excited for the DC stuff. Yes, there are Jerome videos and all of that jazz coming. I'll probably, since all of the shows are going to end, might start doing some Q&A videos, not to ask me about like my life and stuff. I'm talking about Q&A videos about the shows. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and we can do like an Arrow Q&A, we can do a Flash Q&A, add that, because I need videos. There's not going to be any shows to review after next week, so let me know what you think about that. Remember guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share with all your freaking DC fanboy buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always guys, I am your host JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I'm a daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bye!